My thanks also extend to Mr. Prime Minister for his presence with us today. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. I also want to thank everyone who contributed in making this conference a reality, from the executives of my ministry, the Ministry of Knowledge Economy, Startups and Microenterprises, to the general actors of the ecosystem of startups in Africa, in addition to the members of the African Diplomatic Corps represented in Algeria, and the executives of the Algerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs for their unwavering support in the preparation for this conference, the first of its kind in Africa. Of course, I would also like to extend my sincere greetings to the honorable ministers from the borderly African countries participating in this conference, which I hope will lay the first building block for Pan-African cooperation in the startup sector. Ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, honorable guests, today Africa is witnessing the fastest growth in the digital sector in the world, with a young and increasingly well-trained population. These talents are now the true engine of development of the emerging economies of our continent. We meet today in Algeria with great determination in order to address all the obstacles facing the ecosystem of startup in our continent, and this common space that brings us together is only a first stage to develop an ambitious roadmap that meets the aspiration of innovative African youth. It is now fundamental to open new channels of Pan-African dialogue to determine the diplomatic and institutional instruments required for the development of startups in Africa. It is with that spirit in mind that the organization of this first African conference dedicated to startup is a significant event for all African decision makers involved in the innovation and the new technologies sector. Our goal also is to establish new channels for exchanging experiences with regard to public policies supporting startups. It will also be a good opportunity to revitalize the African financial field in response to the growing financial needs of African startups, as well as integrating them into the joint effort aimed at reducing the technological dependence from which our continent suffers. Mr. Prime Minister, honorable guests, excellencies, one of the icons of our continent, the inspiring leader Nelson Mandela once said, "Our human compassion binds us, the one to the other, not in pity or patronizingly, but as human beings who have learned how to turn our common suffering into hope for the future." We are facing a historic opportunity to advance together in areas that some consider exclusive to other regions of the world. Our next revolution will be technological. Africa is the cradle of humanity. It will certainly be, by the will of all of us African, its future.